Yo, what's up, guys? Night Flyer coming at you again with a update on FPV simulators and what's new in my world, what's going on with what I'm using. Someone called me out in my last video. When I put the video out, someone, was stoked about it and they asked if I'd used hot props. And at that point, I had used it, but it really wasn't my favorite. There was a few things that I didn't go over, but with all the pros and cons of the other ones, I just didn't really see a need for it. If you haven't checked out my last video, I'd appreciate you checking it out. And uh, there was a reason why I didn't want to do my opinion on hot props. This is because I felt like it wasn't quite there yet. There was a few options that I really liked about it, but I just knew there was a reason why. And someone on Reddit called me out today, well, when I was going to do the video, and ironically enough, they put out a rather large update for hot props, and which I am going to call the Mattstuntz update. Because what really made hot props blow up was when he started doing his vlogs, whatever you want to call it. Mattstuntz kind of broke out and told everyone his settings on hot props, and told everyone this is what he practiced stunts on, what helped him push his tricks to the next level, and his flow, what helped define it pretty much. Not being scared of breaking things and spending a lot of money, and just doing his thing. And I've always been a big, a believer in that. I really want to build muscle memory in a simulator that's closest to reality as possible. The Mattstuntz update has made hot props the new freestyle simulator king. It's so cool. I've been enjoying the heck out of it all day. I've been playing it for quite some time today, and I really like the fact that the developer saw all the love that Matty sent his way and literally reached out to Matt and said, "Hey, what kind of map do you want? I'm going to build you a map, and what would you like?" And they worked on it together and came out with this apparently. Uh, and the big thing about this update is they fixed the trim setting. When you had to start up hot props, you would have to set your throttle trim to like 50%, which really wasn't that big of a deal, but still kind of annoying. Whatever. That's fixed now, and that's even though it's not that big of a deal, I really appreciate it when developers hear the community and they say, "Oh, this is the thing that's making me mad," even though it may be a small thing to him. He hears the community and he changes it, and that is a huge plus in my book. That's the only sim with this update that gives you legitimate building diving. I mean, I was literally saying this like today or yesterday, like, man, I feel so foreign when I do get the chance to dive large structures. uh, I just don't feel comfortable enough, to get close and to dive that high. And a big problem I've had here recently is my gear. I know Mr. Steele says trust your gear, but when you have sponsors and you're given all this gear and you have all the nice stuff, it's really easy to say trust your gear. But me with my Krieger Ghetto Blaster and my ghetto builds, sometimes I want to make sure I know that I know how to pull this off. I know exactly what I'm doing, especially when I'm flying around concrete, because I just don't want to have to spend the money on fixing, the major costly parts. That's just not what I want to do. But just like with every type of opinion that someone should have, there's definitely positives and negatives about hot props in this update. I'm all about this update. It's a beautiful move in the right direction by the developer, And the best part about Hot Props is it's free. That's another reason why this has become the new freestyle king for me. With FPV event PE, you can freestyle it. There's a test track that doesn't limit you too much as far as how your ceiling and your width, which you can go out on the map before the video cuts out. But this is trees. There's some ghost branches there, and the hit boxes are weird on some of them. But it doesn't give you that building dive and those small spaces like this map does. But I guess I'll start with the pros on Hot Props. There's a lot of options for making the simulator feel like your quad. Uh, I will link Matty's video in the description. He gives his full settings in several videos, and I love full disclosure like that. He isn't scared to give someone the tools to practice to, try to step up their skills to be on par with him. That's not being scared. That's being believing in your skills and knowing that you have a special style from other people. I really like that. I think that's cool. But Hot Props definitely gives you a lot of options, and it seems like these options actually matter too. Uh, the weird part is that to get it feeling good, I think I have like max KV on, like Mattstuntz does, and dual blades. I mean, it's been there forever since I've used dual blades, but I don't know if you really get the floaty feeling like this with dual blades. But I mean, besides that, all the other settings really do have an effect, and I love that. There's undisclosed names. There's a few simulators, if you change settings, it doesn't do anything except for mess the whole game up. I don't understand how a developer can oversee that. It just makes no sense, but whatever. I'm not going to go into other ones. You can check out my other video if you want to hear me rant about that a little bit. But not much has changed on that. Event PE has had a few updates, has added some tracks. Not really too many technical updates as far as that goes. Still looks the best, but man, the negative ones are still negative in my opinion, but whatever. Another cool thing that caught my eyes at first about Hot Props was multiplayer. Uh, I had never really dove into it until the other night on Instagram. I saw someone said they were live streaming, and I said, "Hey, DM me if you want to jump into live stream, and let's jump on Hot Props." And I was stoked just to see someone else they want to do that. So I jumped on with them, and it was cool and easily connected. It didn't seem like there was a big lag. Now I will go into it a little bit further as far as the way the multiplayer interacted with everything, but I thought that option was cool. For free, and that's there. Like, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Uh, and of course, this is endorsed by Mattstuntz. I mean, he is mind blowing as far as his skills and the way he attacks, his spot and what he wants to do, and he's different. He's majorly different from anyone else. I've seen a few people emulate him, but it seems like he was the first to do that. I may be wrong, but man, that guy just slays his style. It's just insane what he can do. And it's very apparent that he used this to kind of push himself. And he's even admitted that. And it's a very influential type of guy. And for him to endorse this, why would you not? Um, this new map having buildings and bridges is just, that's a game changer. I really like that. There's other obstacles and other ones like Freerider FPV. There's a bunch of trees and goalposts and stuff, and FPV event PE. But this is really, really excites me. I can't wait to play around with this more. I can't wait to do this on multiplayer with someone. And that's a whole nother thing. I don't know which one's the most realistic, but there is definitely a big difference in the hitboxes from this and the other ones. I feel like if you hit your belly flat against a flat surface on hot props, you have the chance to recover, which, it's realistic. It's other ones that you will straight up slap into the little part of a limb and it just sends you flying and you don't get the chance to recover, whatever. And there's another one where you can straight up blast through a tree, or not through a tree, but through a limb, and it will just say one of your props is slightly damaged. It's just like, don't know about that. And of course, with the map being how it is, Mattstuntz, there's a bunch of Easter eggs, and there's rebel signs, and there's just a few little things that you can find around the city that really make it cool, interesting, and very unique. I like it. Moving on to the negatives in hot props, there are a few bugs. It seemed like there was a few textures and a few buildings and a few just like little structures and things that popped in and out, and they just didn't seem like 100% working right. And there was a few that were there visually, but they didn't have a hitbox. I would just straight up fly through them. So that kind of sucks, but I mean, whatever, for free, I'm not gonna complain at all. The multiplayer, all I did was freestyle with multiplayer, so I have not experienced doing racing with multiplayer yet. Speaking of that, hopefully I can get someone to do a live stream with me and we test that out. I like to do live streaming of FPV event PE, of just me practicing and doing stuff. There's no multiplayer in it, but yeah, I'd really like to try a multiplayer experience. If you haven't seen my last video, I do not like liftoff. I do not like the feel. A few updates ago, it just became ridiculous. My Tyrannus doesn't act right with it. I go full throttle, I lose full control of everything. And when I talk to developers, which I've had conversations with them being an early access title, I've talked to them and try to give them my opinion, and they were very receptive up until the last little bit. I don't know what happened to them, but they got very personal with things, and they say that it's if there's something wrong, I feel like something's wrong. It's not them, it's me. Like it feels like a bad girlfriend or something. I don't know what's going on with them, but I hope they get their stuff together, because I really like that it's on Steam, and seems like the multiplayer would be cool with them, but I don't really see a reason to play Liftoff right now. The noise and sound bites and hot props is kind of annoying, but I'm not playing them for noise. To be honest, most of the time I'm going to, especially here recently, to help myself tune out the world around me, I'm going to start playing with music. I'm going to just mute everything and then just have music going on in the background, whether it be in earbuds, headphones, or just through my computer while I'm playing. But it is what it is. With all that being said, hot props is the best value for freestyling. I haven't really messed with the racing too much on it. I've just been so stoked on it ever since this update came out today, and that's all I've been playing. I haven't even touched FPV Event, and I really don't see myself picking it up until FPV Event puts out a new map. Because don't get me wrong, I think FPV Event looks better. I feel like it's a little bit more realistic feeling, but I haven't tuned myself 100%. I'm just using Mattstuntz's settings to, and then I tweak my own rates and expos and whatnot. But I think with hot props, there's a few things that I want to see. Haven't done the racing, but in the multiplayer, the freestyle kind of seemed boring. It was fun just to sit there and talk with someone while I was flying, and knowing that we were flying together, and it was hard for me to see that other person. At first I thought there was a bird flying around, and it was so small and it was hard to track. But it wasn't even their quad. It wasn't their lights. It was their name. It was their gamer tag that I could see, and it fly around. And like I would try to track it, and 2 seconds later, I just couldn't follow it. I just couldn't watch it at all. I think that would be really cool if you could initiate challenges or something, like preset challenges that fly through this, or who can do the coolest stunt, and like one person has 30 seconds to hit this one little area, or to do a line of tricks real quick, just to do some stuff and have fun while everyone else watches, and then the next person in line goes for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever while everyone else watches. I think something like that would be very interactive, and really bring that multiplayer aspect alive, rather than just like being in the same area and not really have anything to do with each other. With that being said, the only other thing that I would really like to see, that's of course, new maps. Everyone wants to see new maps, but I think it's a single developer, and I think he's doing amazing for what it is, and the cost. I mean, come on, free. Everyone should have this. If your computer runs this, and you can get your Tyrannus to hook up, which I think Hot Props was the easiest to get my Tyrannus hooked up. It required a little bit of calibration, but I think it was just like pretty much plug and play once I got my Tyrannus to understand what the USB device was. But the only other thing I can really say is let the community help build tracks. I don't know if there is a builder. I haven't really researched too much into it. But even like a simple editor, where someone like me could go into the Mattstuntz map and just put a few gates, and number them, so I could fly around with gates in that area. Turn a freestyle map into kind of a racing map too. But that's just being super picky, and there might be something along those lines. I haven't researched into it too much. But with that being said, I think that this update is amazing. I want developers to do this more often. I want them to jump in and talk to the people who are higher end pilots and using their simulators, and build stuff for them and add the features they want seen and put their name on it. And I think multiplayer could grow a lot as far as the simulator goes. I really love FPV events leaderboard. I think that's awesome. I love being able to beat those high-end guys that I know that are up there winning big races. I'm trying to push myself against the person who's the championship of the multi-GP, and that's crazy. But thanks for listening. Please leave your comments below if you think something different, or hey, if you want to do some Hot Props multiplayer with me, shoot me a DM on Instagram, or just shoot me something anywhere. You can find me. I'm around. But thanks guys for listening. Throw me a like, subscribe if you liked it, and I'll be bringing you more content soon. Thank you. See you.